People for Animals Bangalore started on 30th July 1996. It's been 20 years now, and these have been 20 good years for animals. This is the only wildlife hospital in India, and it caters to urban wildlife. It has rescued in these 20 years over 20,000 animals. These are animals which would not have been treated by government vets, which would not have been treated by anybody. It was started by three lovely young women, Namrata, Alpana, Arushi. And over the years, they have worked very hard to learn, to refine their techniques, to provide a home for those that are permanently crippled, especially birds, and to treat all those that are completely left uncovered by the government system. No zoo has a doctor that knows anything about wildlife. No wildlife trainers exist in this country. No vets know anything about wildlife because we've just had the syllabus changed to include wildlife teaching for the first time this year. In this absence, these untrained ladies and their staff and their volunteers learnt through experience, through looking after so many animals, and saved them. I'm very proud of them. Regarding pet cemeteries, People for Animals has also provided an important brick. There are no pet cemeteries in India, none at all. So when people's beloved animals die, what should they do with them? They are told throw them into the garbage can. It's like throwing a child into a garbage can. They're told that they can bury them in the garden, and I certainly do that with my pets. But most of the time they want to see them rest in peace. And so People for Animals has the best known cemetery in India, perhaps the only one. And I think more than 6,000 animals have been buried there. Okay. Animal cruelty is the last on any government's agenda, including ours. Unfortunately, people don't realize that all the violence between human and human starts by a human being mean to an animal. Because violence is really not about anything except power and finding somebody weaker than you. And as we grow more and more overpopulated, there are huge chunks of people who have no power, and they take it out in being violent to animals, from there to children, then to women, and to whoever they can get away with. Therefore, it's so important to put this into school curricula, to teach them what are animals. Animals are not ours to wear, to use, to eat, to be mean to. Animals are nations unto themselves, and like nations they exist. They have their own systems, their own languages, their own habitats, and if we respect them as kings to kings, then we would be much better off. Instead of thinking that these are there for us, like for our entertainment, to use as gelatine capsules, or to be experimented on for things that don't work, to be misused, abused. If nothing else, put yourself in their place and think you may be reborn as one of them. Therefore, it's important for all of you to get into animal welfare as a means to saving human beings. Every organization needs volunteers, and I would suggest that children come forward from when they're 5 years old and 6 years old and learn the value of compassion. It has an economic value as well, because the more compassionate you are, the easier the world runs. And once you learn the value of being compassionate to animals, you're compassionate to each other. So work gets done faster, it's much better. You start looking at people with empathy rather than sympathy. It's important for each one of you to become volunteers. And one of the things you need to do, really importantly, is to fundraise every minute. When we save animals, each one of them needs to be picked up. So we need ambulances and petrol. We need doctors, we need staff, we need medicines, we need food. And if we don't have any of these, we can't save the animal. So each one of you think, every time you buy an ice cream, that ice cream could have saved a life. And it doesn't do anything except harm to you. So why not every week collect what you can? If you have something in your house that you don't need, give it to us. We need things from buckets and mops and fennel. We need bricks and cement. We need mortar. We need wooden things that birds can sit on. We need anything that you can give, big or small. It would be nice if you did that.